Elhokar was a spoiled, incompetent brat, but he was an earnest one, and he wasn't a bad person. Elhokar is one of the more divisive characters in the Cosmere. He was 20 years old when he took the throne, about 22 in Earth years. From there, he immediately went to war with the Parshendi and had a tumultuous reign for the next 7 years. We're going to cover two different things in this video. The first being the Rishon incident. This happened when Elhokar was 19 years old and still just a prince. Yasna was considered a pariah, and Dalinar was just not around. Elhokar, through his incompetence and naivete, was manipulated by Rishon, who was focused on enriching himself instead of the interest of the throne. Rishon convinced Elhokar to imprison Moash's parents for unnamed charges, and during the few months they were in jail, they died. There was no malice or sense of self-righteousness in what happened to Moash's grandparents. At least not on Elhokar's side. Don't misunderstand me. This was gross incompetence on behalf of the prince. But he was trying to do what was right. This sounds weird, but in a drunken ramble towards Kaladin, Elhokar alludes to this, saying, "I'm trying to be a good king, but when I try to do good, I fail. When I listened to counsel, it turned out they were manipulating me." Elhokar was earnest to a fault. The incident happened because he was open to counsel, but naive enough to not recognize that he was being taken advantage of. The second thing we have to address is Elhokar allowing the continued enslavement and caste system between the Dark Eyes and Light Eyes. And let's be absolutely clear up front. If Elhokar would have tried to end this, he would have been assassinated or dethroned. Perhaps both. He couldn't even enforce the codes in the war camps. Even though he was king, he actually had very limited authority. Barring that though, Alethkar is one of the 5 Vorin kingdoms. The times of the hierarchy had passed, but make no mistake, the Vorin church still has a lot of sway, and their power had been slowly creeping back, especially in the current times. If Elhokar had the unwavering support of the High Princes, this is a hurdle that could have been overcome. But he didn't. Yasna was able to pull this off, but it required her carefully stripping the dissidents of power and replacing them with people that were loyal to her, which was only possible because of the work Dalinar put in to strengthen the throne. And had he not been assassinated by Moash, Elhokar could have returned from Alethkar victorious and irradiant, with Kaladin Stormblessed having his ear. And then this enslavement thing probably would have ended under Elhokar, but he never got that opportunity. Yasna even more or less admits that freeing the slaves isn't something that could have been done before. When talking to Dalinar about her plan to free the slaves, she says, "Our lives are already in chaos. This is precisely the time to make sweeping changes, when people are already adjusting to a new way of life." Yasna only had confidence in her plan because the social hierarchy was already being destroyed by the Radiants. Don't get me wrong, Elhokar was not a good king. In fact,